One Piece 704. Did you guys enjoy it? Because I did. I thought it was a really good chapter. Even though it was just one giant introduction chapter, you know, showcasing all the characters that's going to really be participating. I mean, all of the noteworthy ones. We get a few of them, even though some of them I'm pretty sure they're just there to kind of, you know, fill up seats. Most of them aren't even going to be of any interest later on. But we get at least, you know, 3 that are, you know, prominent players in the tournament. They're actually going to be, you know, let's say the star of the show. Basically, they're that interesting. So, you know, we basically start where we left off, and last week, you know, Luffy's, you know, he's walking around, he's looking around, looking at the participants. Apparently, you can do anything you want in the tournament, any weapon except a firearm. So you can use swords, spears, throw a rock at someone. You know, I mean, yeah, you can do whatever you want in the tournament. So Luffy's quite happy about this. So he's, you know, he's having fun trying to look at, you know, stuff he can wear armor wise and stuff like that. But there is a weight limit. You can't weigh a certain amount because, you know, they want to see blood. You know, the whole point of a gladiator tournament is the sport of it. People want to watch people die. Yes, people are sick and twisted. We love watching people die. That's just in our nature anyway. So yeah, that's the whole point of the tournament, is watch people get hurt, die, and to see blood. So you can't really be covered in armor too much because that defeats the whole purpose of this particular tournament. So Luffy, you know, they said, you know, you can't wear that shit because there's too much armor. Strip down. Just keep it simple, alright? Anyway, so we see a whole bunch of characters basically. Like I can't even remember half of them. I'm just reviewing this from the top of my head, but I can't remember half. I only know a few of them. We get these 3 brothers. They actually bailed Luffy out in the beginning because of the guy Luffy knocked out in the previous chapter. They were about to like disqualify him completely because you shouldn't be fighting right now before the actual tournament begins. So yeah, Luffy's about to get disqualified, but these 3 brothers come and they were like, you know what, Luffy didn't even start it, so, you know, leave him alone. The other guy started it. So yeah, so because of that, because these 3 guys, and they're big names in the tournament, so they're well known throughout the world, and then because they're respected, they're like, all right, we'll agree with you. So they let Luffy stay in the tournament. There we go. I think the names was Sai, Bo, and Chong Zhao. I probably butchered the last guy's name. Yeah, something like that. But he didn't really say much. But there's some, one of them was interesting. Luffy said sorry, and he's like kept on saying, you don't need to apologize. You don't need to apologize. Take it back or I'll kill you. So he's crazy. Yeah, you know what One Piece characters are? They're all a bit crazy. None of them are that sane anyway. But yeah, when we get a whole bunch of other ones, we get a king, we get this mysterious guy, we get someone that looks like Bellamy. I thought Bellamy was dead. I thought Don Flamingo killed him like ages ago. You know, Bellamy, the guy that, you know, Luffy knocked out with one punch. Yeah, he might be back in this, so that's interesting. Because what's funny is his devil fruit ability, where his legs turn into springs. I actually do like his power. I wouldn't want it, but I think it's interesting. It's funny. So yeah, I'm glad to see that he's probably black. I hope it's Bellamy. And then we get this pretty boy, and he's basically a well-known pirate apparently. All the girls are falling for him. The moment they see him, they drop on the ground faint and say they can't stand it. He calls himself the Prince of Pirates, and he has a grudge against Luffy's generation because he was from the generation before Luffy's, and he was quite infamous and famous. But because Luffy's generation were hardcore, you know what I mean, they were basically the best. They were involved in a war. And, you know, we had like Law, Kid, and obviously Luffy. They overshadowed him, and because he wants to be the star of the show, and because he's just a plain hater, why are you hating? He's pissed off. So, you know, Luffy almost let his name slip for a second, and then he's like, you know what, if your name was actually Monkey D. Luffy, I would have actually killed you on the spot right now, because he's that much of a hater. So he might be interesting later on in the story. We'll have to see that later. We have to find out later because he had this grudge against Luffy. Maybe when Luffy's identity actually gets revealed, he might become somewhat of a rival throughout this tournament. We don't know. We have to see that eventually. But because he had so much screen time in this chapter, I'm pretty sure he's going to be interesting later on. The next noteworthy character is this Gladiator chick. Now, she's actually quite interesting because she actually wants to join the tournament so she can actually defeat Don Flamingo. That's her goal of the tournament, and possibly the Mera Mera Fruit. Who knows? Me personally, I actually think she's gonna be the one to get the Mera Mera Fruit. I think we found a candidate, people, because
she seems like a good person, and she seems like the kind of people that Luffy actually does like. She's brave, she doesn't give up, you know, that whole thing. Her and Luffy had like a little moment, that little conversation. Obviously, when it comes to females and Luffy, there's nothing romantic involved. It's all just, you know, friendship based thing, because Luffy isn't really interested in those kind of things. So before you guys get crazy and think, oh yeah, this is Luffy's, you know, romantic interest, I don't really think that's the case with Luffy and girls. It's never the case with him and girls. But yeah, she's cool. You know, she looks nice, nice outfit. Yeah, so she's in the tournament. Her and Luffy had a little conversation about the original winner of the tournament, and then what he represented, even though no one knew his name and stuff like that. They talked for a bit. People within the tournament seemed to underestimate her. Maybe she took part before and then she lost, or maybe because of how she looks, they're just thinking, oh, it's a pretty girl. She won't really get very far in the tournament. So everyone's basically underestimating her. So she might be really weak, or she might actually be so strong. We don't know yet. We're about to see. But luckily, she's in Group C and Luffy's in Group D, so they won't ever get to fight each other. So, yeah. And you know, I mean, I think the biggest shock of this chapter was the reveal of the winner of Group A. So, you know, in the Battle Royale tournament in Group A, it was finished by the end of the chapter, and then there was a winner revealed, and he was wearing a mask, so no one really knew who he was. But then he took the mask off, and it was actually Burgess, the guy from Blackbeard's Cure. You know, the muscle man, the guy that wears, I think it's the guy that has the Mexican wrestler mask on. Yeah, he actually won Group A, the Battle Royale. And we all know that if you're a part of Blackbeard's crew, you have to be fairly strong. And, you know, he's proved himself, you know, from before. We haven't really seen him fight properly, but, you know, the guy can lift up a log and shit like that. He has to be pretty strong. So, you know, this could be the potential challenge for Luffy that everyone's been waiting for. Hopefully, because so far Luffy hasn't got a challenge. You know what? Holy didn't do anything. Let's not even talk about Caesar Clown. He was an idiot. He was that weak. So we need someone that's gonna challenge Luffy physically. Hopefully, this guy is he's improved since 2 years ago, and then maybe because, you know, Blackbeard's if you're in I'm pretty sure Blackbeard's like ridiculously strong right now. So maybe his crew obviously had to improve as well. So hopefully this guy's really strong enough to challenge Luffy, so we can see what Luffy can really do. But really, that's the chapter in a nutshell. If I missed anything, sorry guys. You know, a lot actually happened. You know, One Piece is a lot to reel and a lot to read and take in. So I probably missed a few stuff, but you know, that's my take on the chapter. Did I think it was good? Yes, it was a really good chapter, as I said before in the beginning. And I'm just really pumped for next week's chapter now. I want to get to see some of the fights and to actually see what some of these characters can really do. So if you enjoyed the review, you know, give us a thumbs up. That helps out a lot. And subscribe for other videos. And also, yeah, let me know if you have any predictions about what might happen later on in the next couple of chapters, or if you know anything about these characters being shown. And was that really Bellamy at the end? I mean, in the beginning of the chapter? Just let me know. Alright guys, take care.